On our first Christmas together, my husband's family handed me a gift bag full of cleaning supplies. His sister laughed. "It's all you're good at anyway." Then his mother added, "This way you can finally be useful for once." I sat through dinner without speaking. Then I quietly took photos of everything they never meant me to see. Now they're afraid of what I might do with them. I wanted it to be special. It was our first Christmas together as husband and wife. I was nervous but excited. I'd never been around his whole family before, not like this. He told me they were traditional, very close. "You'll love them once you get to know them," he said. "They're a little blunt, but they mean well."
So I tried.
I really tried. I baked cookies the day before, shortbread with cardamom like my mother used to make before she got sick. I wrapped them in clear cellophane, tied with green ribbon. I bought gifts for everyone, even though we weren't exactly swimming in money. A scarf for his mother. A fancy pen for his father. Scented candles for his sisters. I thought if I showed them I cared, they might meet me halfway. We drove up to their house that morning. Snow was falling. He was humming along to some old Christmas song on the radio. I kept smoothing out my sweater in the mirror. It was red, soft, simple. He'd said his mother would like it. I didn't want to embarrass him. When we walked through the front door, everyone was already there. His mother smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. His sisters looked me up and down like I was something they didn't order. I smiled anyway. I said, "Merry Christmas." No one said it back. We sat around the living room. His father poured drinks. His brother talked over me every time I tried to speak. They laughed at things I didn't understand. Inside jokes, maybe. I tried to keep smiling. Then his sister Kara handed me a gift bag. It was red and glittery with a silver bow. "Open it," she said, smiling too wide. I reached inside and pulled out a yellow sponge. Then rubber gloves. A bottle of bleach. Window cleaner. A toilet brush, still in the packaging. I didn't get it at first. I just stared. Then Kara laughed. "Well," she said, "it's all you're good at anyway, right?" The room burst into laughter. I looked at my husband. He wasn't laughing, but he wasn't defending me either. He just looked down at his drink. His mother leaned over, smiling like a queen. "This way, you can finally be useful for once," she said. "We figured you'd like something practical." I put the bag on the floor. My hands were shaking. I didn't say anything. I sat through dinner without speaking. They talked like I wasn't there. His father made some comment about how some women just marry up and think they've won the lottery. Kara joked about the time she saw me at the grocery store using coupons. They laughed again. My husband didn't say a word. I didn't cry. I didn't leave. I just sat there and listened. Every word, every smirk, every insult they didn't even bother to hide. I smiled once. Just once. After dinner, they all went off to drink wine and play some board game in the living room. I said I needed to use the bathroom. Then I started walking around the house. Quietly. Carefully. I wasn't looking for anything. At least, not at first. But then I saw Kara's purse open on the bathroom counter. I saw the little baggie tucked inside. White powder. Not sugar. Not salt. I took a photo.
No flash.
Just in case. In the office downstairs, I found a cabinet left ajar. Inside were envelopes. Medical bills. All of them marked paid in cash. I took photos of those too. In the study, his father's leather notebook was open on the desk. Client names. Numbers that didn't match any real business I'd heard of. I took pictures of every page. They'd invited me into their home to humiliate me. They wanted to make me feel small, worthless, invisible. But they forgot something. I was paying attention. They thought I was weak. But I wasn't. I was quiet. That's different. Quiet people see everything. And I saw enough to know they weren't nearly as perfect as they pretended to be. They gave me a bag full of cleaning supplies. They laughed. They thought they broke me. But what I took that night was much more valuable. Now they don't look me in the eye. Now they ask my husband if I seem okay lately. Now I know they're nervous. They should be. Because I haven't done anything yet. And they don't know what I might do next. They try to play it off like a joke afterward. The next morning, while I was making coffee in their cold kitchen, Kara came in and leaned against the counter like we were old friends. "Don't be so sensitive," she said, smirking. "It was just a bit of fun. Family stuff." I didn't look at her. I just stirred my coffee. She waited, hoping I'd react. I didn't. That bothered her. I could tell. When we left that afternoon, no one hugged me goodbye. His mother gave me a stiff nod. His father didn't even come out of his office. My husband kept glancing at me on the drive home like he wanted to say something, but didn't know how. I didn't help him. I didn't ask. I just stared out the window and let the silence grow between us. By the time we pulled into our driveway, it was a wall. I started gathering things that week. Not just the photos. I went deeper. My husband left his laptop open one night, and I went through his emails. I wasn't proud of it, but I had to know. I had to understand why he let them treat me like that. There were messages from his sister. Dozens. Screenshots of my social media posts. A forwarded message from a job application I had sent months earlier, with Kara's comment, "Told you she was desperate." He had responded with nothing but a laughing emoji. Another message from his mother. "You can do better. She's clinging to you because she has nothing else." No defense from him. Just silence. Or worse, agreement by omission. That night, I didn't sleep. I started noticing other things. Small things. My favorite mug suddenly chipped and missing. A dress I loved mysteriously ruined in the wash. Packages I ordered never arriving. My husband said I was overthinking. That maybe I misplaced them. But I wasn't misplacing anything. I was being erased piece by piece. So I made copies. Of the photos. The emails. I stored them on a USB drive, then uploaded them to a secure cloud account with a password only I knew. Then I waited. It was Kara who made the next mistake. She invited us to a birthday dinner, her own, of course. Fancy place, all shine and sparkle, meant to impress. I didn't want to go, but my husband said we should show our faces. So I did. I showed up in a black dress. Hair done. Quiet.
Smiling.
Kara gave me a once-over when we arrived. "Glad you could make it," she said. "Didn't expect you to be able to afford something like that dress." Her friends laughed. I didn't. I leaned in close and whispered, "Nice bag. You didn't leave any powder in this one, did you?" Her face changed. She froze. Her friends kept laughing, not hearing me. But Kara went pale. She knew. She didn't know what I had. But she knew I had something. And that was the beginning. A week later, her boyfriend left her. Just disappeared.
No explanation.
She stopped posting pictures of them together. He blocked her on everything. Then her job suddenly cut her hours. Some photos had surfaced, ones she couldn't explain. She started showing up late, then stopped showing up at all. Her mother called my husband, crying. "Kara's having a rough time," she said. "Could you two come over, help her out?" We didn't go. My husband asked me that night, "Did you have anything to do with this?" I looked at him for a long time. Then I said, "No." He didn't believe me.
Good.
Because that was just the start. I hadn't even touched his father yet. Or his mother. But their time was coming. One by one. I wasn't angry anymore. Anger is loud and burns out fast. This was colder.
Slower.
Better. It wasn't supposed to go this far. That's what I kept telling myself. But then I found the second phone. It was late, maybe past midnight. My husband had fallen asleep on the couch. TV still on. A glass of scotch half finished on the table. I picked up his jacket to hang it. It felt heavier than usual. I reached into the inside pocket. There it was. A phone I'd never seen before. No case. No lock screen. Just sitting there like it didn't matter. But it did matter. There were messages from a number saved only as K. The same K from the email threads. The same K who laughed when I opened that bag of bleach and rubber gloves.
Kara.
But the messages weren't about me. They were about money. Dad said he's not cleaning this one up. I told you to delete that file. If anyone finds it, we're F***D. She doesn't suspect anything. She's too busy playing house. I scrolled further. And then I saw my name. If she ever finds out where the money came from, I read that line 5 times. What money? Then I remembered something from months ago. We'd had a sudden deposit into our account. $5,000, no explanation. He told me it was a bonus. I didn't think much of it. I was just relieved. Things were tight then. Now, I saw the date matched the message. Funds sent. Make sure she never asks questions. I took photos of everything. Next morning, I asked him about that old deposit, like it had just popped into my head. What bonus was that again? I said, buttering toast like nothing had changed. He froze. Then smiled. Christmas bonus, he said. I told you already. No, he hadn't. I didn't correct him. I just nodded and sipped my coffee. But that's when I started digging deeper. I found out his father had once worked for a private security firm. Left quietly. No retirement party, no announcements. Just gone. Rumors of missing inventory, misfiled reports, a young female employee who'd vanished from company records. His mother ran a charity foundation, very public, very respected. Except when I checked the nonprofit's filings online, something felt off. Names recycled on different boards. Large sums donated to shell organizations that led nowhere. And then I saw one of the names. My husband's. He was listed as a consultant. They'd been moving money in his name. On paper, he was part of it. That's why they wanted me silent. That's why Kara laughed when I opened that bag. She thought I was beneath them. Harmless. Stupid. But I wasn't. I started mailing copies of the photos and screenshots, anonymously, one by one. To people they worked with. To board members. To their church. To the quiet little journalist who wrote crime columns for the local paper, the one no one paid attention to but who always responded. Then something strange happened. I got a letter. No return address. No name. Just a plain white envelope slipped under our front door late one night. Inside was a single sheet of paper. Be careful. You don't know everything yet. You're not the only one watching. I stared at that note for a long time. Not afraid. Not yet. But for the first time, I realized someone else was in the story. Someone I hadn't seen. Someone who'd been there longer than I had. And they were watching me now. The note changed everything. I stopped sleeping deeply after that. I started locking every door in the house. I watched the street outside our window. Every passing car. Every stranger walking too slowly. But I didn't stop. I kept sending evidence, timed it just right. A copy of the foundation's phony financial reports to the city's charity oversight board. Photos of Kara's purse contents to the school, where she volunteered with kids. A full summary of the ledger I found in the den, sent straight to the state tax agency. Each time, I waited. Each time, something fell apart. First came Kara. Her car was pulled over one morning. Drugs found under her seat. Not just a baggie this time, a full stash. She cried about how it wasn't hers, how someone planted it. But no one listened. Her face was on every local news page. The mugshot spread fast. Then came her mother. The charity board issued a statement. Irregularities. An investigation. Frozen accounts. Volunteers pulled out. News vans started showing up. She tried to act like she didn't know. She called us one night, sobbing into the phone, saying someone was ruining her life. I didn't answer. I let my husband listen to her voicemail. His face went pale. He turned to me and asked, "What did you do?" And for the first time, I didn't lie. "I protected myself," I said. "Something you never did." That night, he slept in the guest room. I didn't ask him to. A week later, his father was arrested.
Fraud.
Tax evasion. And something worse, an old report reopened. A woman who'd filed a complaint years ago, but never got a call back. Now she had a lawyer. A firm that didn't care about silence. The story made it into the paper. So did the ledgers. So did the names. People in town stopped pretending. That family name, once clean, once respected, was now poison. Then came the second letter. Same envelope. Same lack of name. You're not finished. You think you've done something big. You haven't even touched the root. Check the savings account. The one in your name.
He's been using you the whole time.
My chest tightened. I opened my laptop. Logged into our joint account.
There was a second account.
Hidden under my name, linked to my social. Dozens of transfers from the charity's books. Set up a year before we even got married. He'd been moving money through me. Laundering it. Making it look clean. That's why he married me. That's why his family accepted me just enough to laugh in my face. Because I was part of the plan. Because they thought I'd never find out. I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I printed every single transaction. I copied every email, every message, every photo I'd taken. I walked to the nearest police station. I dropped everything off anonymously through the tip line mailbox. Then I walked out. When I got home, I packed my bags.
Quiet. Calm.
Like someone leaving a hotel. My husband wasn't there. He was meeting with a lawyer. I left a note. You had a chance to love me. You chose to use me. Now we're both free. You just don't know what that means yet. I went to my sister's place across state lines. Stayed off social media. Got a job waiting tables.
Small town.
Cash pay. Quiet. It took 2 weeks. He was arrested. Accomplice to fraud. Money laundering. Conspiracy. His name hit the headlines right under his father's. No one came for me. No charges. No questions. Because I left the paper trail. I made it clear I was just a shadow they used. And I cut the string before it snapped. But I didn't walk away clean. I'd spent months turning into someone I didn't recognize. Someone quiet. Cold. Calculating. Someone who smiled while planning someone else's fall. I got what I wanted. They lost everything. But I'd lost something too. I couldn't laugh like I used to. I didn't trust silence anymore. Every door knock made my heart jump. Every stranger's eyes made me wonder. Do they know? Revenge is never free. But it was worth it. They taught me how cruel people could be behind polite smiles and holiday meals. I taught them what happens when the quiet one stops pretending. And now they live in ruins. And I live in peace. Not joy. Not love.
But peace.
Sometimes that's all you need.